Joining me now from London is Stanley Johnson, a former member of the European Parliament and father of the former Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson. Good to see you, Mr. Johnson, as always. I think both sides, all sides, can agree this is a mess with no easy solution and the possibility of a leadership challenge to Theresa May. If there is...
It's a mess.
Go ahead.
Richard, I'd say it's a mess of our own making. It's hard to imagine we could have reached this kind of situation that we're in now. I started, as you know, as a Remainer. Then I said, you know, by all means, give it a go. Let's try and get a decent deal. But what we have in terms of the government's proposal, Mrs. May's proposal, is really completely unacceptable. I think that is what the House of Commons, expressed, and she ran from it. That's all you can say. And I take a cynical view of this. I think she was very happy to see the vote postponed because her tactic now is to say, let's get as close as we can to the deadline in the hope that in the end, we'll be able to corral this one through. Well, I think that is totally the wrong approach. We can't afford to have the deal as proposed by the British government. This is a deal which could be a country trying to join the EU, not a country leaving it.
Do you think the Prime Minister should go?
I think we have to have a change of leadership at this point, because it's perfectly clear to me that she is wedded to her deal. Nobody seriously believes that she's going to come back from Brussels with anything that will change the reality of what she has proposed. It won't. It'll only get us nearer what I see to be the cliff edge, and that cliff edge is this deal being accepted. So yes, I think I say so with sorrow. It is time for a change, because only a change now can force a general election, if you like, or force a change of policy. I can't see it. As much as I hate to say so, with Mrs. May, we are not going to get the change of policy we need.
You will not be surprised by my next question. If she goes, should Boris Johnson run?
I very much hope he will. He's had a clear view. He's had a clear view recently. And by the way, I think I say that not because I want him particularly to run, because I cannot believe we can go ahead with the proposal we have. Now his view is, for heaven's sake, let's get rid of this Irish problem. Let's say, put it to one side, put it, if you like, into the whole negotiation of the free trade agreement and so on and so forth. There will be technical solutions possible. We have been driven far too long by the Irish issue, and we have to get away from that. And I think only a new face can do that. Whether that face is Boris or someone else, who can tell?
So, in this scenario, as you may have heard my colleague Matthew Chance outside Westminster, it is very difficult to see the way forward. On the one hand, that meaningful say has to take place, so something has to go before Parliament. On the other hand, companies are now having to say various deadlines, 60, 90-day deadlines, are getting ever close to having to be sorted. And at the same time, the whole matter has to be wrapped up by March the 29th.
Well, I very much agree with you. I think, honestly, it was completely irresponsible of the Prime Minister at that point not to have the vote yesterday. I mean, to say, yes, we don't know. She even hadn't had a clear
so
commitment to have one by January the 21st.
A second vote.
No, that's not what I said.
No,
I think it was irresponsible of the Prime Minister.
No, I'm asking
It's one of the options. Second vote is absolutely one of the options. I would say another option would be a general election, which then throws up a configuration in the British Parliament, which does permit political decisions to be taken, proper political decisions. At the moment, we have a minority government or a coalition government, and that coalition, of course, is propped up by 10 members of the DUP. So a new election would indeed throw up something else.
Is that
that's my seat. I see two possibilities.
Right,
I see
what's your preference? What's your preference?
My preference would be to have an election. To have an election, a clear election, so there's a leader on one side who says we want to have Brexit in a way that means Brexit, and there's somebody on the other side who says, no, we want to stay in the EU. That would be the best.
Good to see you, sir, as always. Looking well. Thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.